So, Doctor Who cares. At this point, really no one, I think. There are some people who are obviously gonna watch it regardless, but many people who just got tired of the bullcrap they've already jumped TARDIS long ago. But is Doctor Who canceled? Show's future in doubt as showrunner Russell T Davies hints at uncertain renewal plans. Is Doctor Who canceled? What does Dr. Giro have planned for the Z Warriors? Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. But what does he have planned? I don't know. Nothing. Like what do we do to get Doctor Who interesting again? What would he have to do? I don't know. Is Doctor Who canceled? No one really knows, including the man in charge, showrunner Russell T Davies. In a move that sent a shockwave through what little was left of the TARDIS fandom, Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies has admitted he's uncertain whether the iconic British sci-fi series will continue beyond season 15. Please let it not. I think Doctor Who needs to go on a hiatus for a little while. They need to reevaluate what's most important to them. Is it the in-your-face political messaging, or is it the subtle political messaging that they had back in the day where people who could, may not agree with you were able to watch the show and still have fun? I mean, you've got a choice here. You can continue down the route where it's in your face, preachy, and have people be driven away from it. Or if you want to have a message, great. If you want to talk about how much you enjoy killing babies, go ahead. If you want to talk about how the ozone layer and global warming, go ahead. If you want to whine about Orange Man bad, go the fuck ahead, but make it subtle so that the people who don't want to deal with the bullshit can still enjoy the show. Simple as that. But that is something that these writers who claim to be college educated and artsy and intelligent, they claim all of these things, and yet they cannot write a subtle message anymore. Now it's in your face. You know what every episode is about because they remind you every 5 fucking seconds. Despite decades of being one of BBC's most cherished franchises, the show's immediate future appears to be hanging in limbo. How low can it go? Doctor Who. How low can it go? Doctor Who. After a disastrous run by Davies and the Doctor actor Kudigatwa, that saw some of the lowest in ratings in the show's 60-plus year history. And there's a reason for that. Because the writing sucks. And I have to keep reiterating this because there are those fucking people who are the show's always been political. It's always had a message. Yeah. And Russell T Davies back in the day could write a show that had a message, but still make it fun and entertaining for people who didn't think like him. Now it's just throwing that away, just telling the message, shoving that in there for the people who already think like you. It's basically one big fucking circle jerk. They said, you know what? Fuck the fans who don't want to be preached to. We want to go after and we want to pander to the people who do want to be preached to. Yeah, that's. And they wonder why David Tennant alone in his run was able to get like 10, 11 million views. And this was before streaming services. And now they're down to 3, 4 million if they're lucky. There should be more fans, so therefore there should be just as many views as during the David Tennant era when he was getting 10, 11 million views. Now with streaming services and all that, more fans, we should be way past that 11 million, or at least still up to that 11 million range. But no, we're down to 2, 3 million. But please, do keep telling me that Doctor Who is still popular. It might be popular, but people are tuning out until something gets done with it. Because what we're seeing now is not Doctor Who. This dude who fucking cries all the time is not the Doctor. That is not the Doctor. Russell T Davies, we don't know what's happening yet. In the latest issue of Doctor Who magazine, Davies offered a surprisingly candid admission in his production diary to anyone asking, is Doctor Who cancelled? While he insisted that Doctor Who will never end. Okay. He simultaneously acknowledged that the show's fate beyond its current run is far from secure. In the words of a great man, no king rules forever, my son. This is Doctor Who. Right now, Doctor Who is Arthas after we've beaten him, and he's lying there, and he's reached up to us and said, "Father, is it over?" And we get to say at long last, no king rules forever, my son. Because it's true. Nothing lasts forever. No king rules forever. Doctor Who was popular for 60 years, and looks like it's out of time. Because it's time travel, and technically time travel, you're never really out of time. You have all the time in the world, but looks like Doctor Who is. We don't know what's happening yet, and while everyone works that out, I'll take a pause on this page. Hopefully we'll have news soon. And the pause isn't metaphorical, it's literal. Davies has will reportedly stop contributing to the magazine's production notes until there's clarity about whether more episodes are on the way. It just needs to stop. Just hiatus for like 10 years. The BBC source tried to downplay the development. This letter is a production notes diary for when the show is in production or on air, he said. And as Russell has stated with this piece, it is a pause. For longtime fans, the uncertainty echoes louder than any spin. Doctor Who ratings paint a bleak picture. Really? The ambiguity around the show's future comes amid worrying signs for Doctor Who's dismal performance, according to Deadline. The recent concluded season 15 averaged just 3.2 million viewers. Again, this is with streaming services and more fans. So we should be seeing the same numbers that David Tennant was getting in his run. 8, 9, 10, 11 million views for each episode. We should not be seeing 3.2 million. If the show is so popular, if people are still so in love with the show, why is it 3.2 million? But please, do keep telling me that the show is still popular. Again, the show Doctor Who might be popular, but there's still comics, there's still audiobooks, there's still the entirety of the original Doctor Who all the way up to Peter Capaldi that people can watch. So while people are watching Doctor Who, I guarantee you it's not freaking Mr. Dr. Pussy Pants over here and Jodie Whittaker's. They're probably watching the good stuff. They're not watching Mr. So, yeah, Doctor Who might be popular and all that, but it's definitely not these new episodes. With all the amazing audiobooks that come out, the audio dramas, you don't, those audio dramas, they bring back old doctors. So why would they be watching this fucking shit when they could be listening to an audio drama with some of the older doctors? I mean, Tom Baker does the audiobooks all the fucking time. Why would you want to watch this shit when you can hear Tom Baker? But keep telling me that the show is still fucking popular. If you truly believe that, I've got a bridge I'd like to sell you. That marks a drop of 500,000 viewers compared to last year's season. Kudigawa's debut as the 15th Doctor, which means at the time had set an all-time low for the show. But records were meant to be broken. And the team of Gatwa and Davies defied the extremely low expectations of the viewing world once again. Like, ours were low, but like, fuck. The numbers became even more concerning when compared to past seasons. Jodie Whittaker, everyone's favorite. What? Run as the 13th Doctor in 2021 averaged 4.9 million viewers, 1.7 million more than the latest season. And Jodie's run is also considered to be a massive disaster. So, 3.2 million views for his, 4.9. But sure, keep telling me that people are liking the show. You can lie to yourself. You can lie to others. You can try to gaslight people into making them think that the show's good by calling them fucking phobes, and isms. But numbers don't lie. The show is not popular anymore. People are tuning out faster than ever. So you can sit here and gaslight all you want, and then when someone says something to you, you can call them a phobe, and ism, because you aren't fucking smart enough to think of anything else. But numbers don't lie. And if you just can't accept the fact that Doctor Who has been destroyed by these people who think that the message is more important than having a good fucking episode with good writing and good characters that's actually fun, if you think that shit, that the message is more important, you're part of the problem. You are the reason why Doctor Who is failing. You can have a message. You can have political messages and still have a good episode. Russell T Davies did it all the time back in the day. But no, he's just thrown all the good writing out, and now he's just sticking to the message. While the BBC has tried to focus on long-term metrics, touting over 70 million viewing hours on iPlayer in 2024, and calling the show its biggest drama for viewers under 35, the decline in 7-day TV ratings is difficult to ignore, because again, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't care about your feelings. Numbers don't care if they're called phobes, and isms. Numbers can't be gaslit. So you can sit here, oh my god, you fat fucking basement-dwelling incel. I don't know what you're talking about. Doctor Who is amazing, and anyone who doesn't like it is a phobe. Whatever. Yeah, I'm a fat fucking incel loser living in a basement, blah, blah, yada, 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 whatever. Try to tell that to the numbers. The numbers don't care. The numbers don't care. An industry insider knows that 7-day ratings typically forecast long-term viewing patterns, despite 28 days total providing more complete data. Complicating factors: Disney deal and cast changes. Another source of instability may be the show's high-profile co-production deal with Disney Plus, which brings Doctor Who to American audiences, which you would think would be more people. I mean, you have the BBC One, where you can watch it on TV. You've got Disney Plus, where you can catch it on streaming services. So if you have all these ways of watching Doctor Who, and the show's more popular than ever, why are we only down to about 3.2 million? Again, you can gaslight all you want. No one's going to sit here and believe you. Look at yourself in the mirror and say that same bullcrap of, oh, well, if you don't like it, then you're just try to say that with a straight face. Try to say that shit with a straight face as you're looking, Doctor Who is great. It's great. And anyone who doesn't like it, it's just because they're a phobe, and ism. It's not the writer's fault. Yeah. Look in the mirror and say that. Tell yourself it's not the writer's fault. Try to say that with a straight face. Say that. Or, anything else having to do with, accountability on the part of people writing the show. No, just keep blaming the fans for calling it out. The partnership was initially seen as a massive win for the BBC, but questions now swirl around whether Disney will stay on board if ratings continue to dip. Hey, they can continue to dip. Ding! Compounding matters, Judy Gatwa has already exited from the series, and now we've got Dr. Rose. Or Dr. Badwolf, or Dr. whatever the fuck it's supposed to be. No, it's Dr. Hey guys, you remember Billy Piper? That's all it is. That's all it is. They're bringing back a familiar face in hopes that people will get interested in the show again, just as they did with Catherine Tate and David Tennant. Hey guys, remember one of the most popular doctors and one of the most famous companions? Well, they're going to be back for the 60th anniversary special. Please watch our show. That's all it is. Gatwood's final episode ended with his regeneration into none other than Billy Piper's Rose Tyler, turning a long-running character into what could be a new version of the Doctor. I certainly hope not, but hopefully we'll never get to see it. The move has drawn a mixed response from fans and critics alike, and many are still trying to make sense of its implications for canon. Is Doctor Who cancelled? I certainly hope so. For now, the next official Doctor Who project is a spin-off series, The War Between the Land and the Sea, starring Russell Tovey and Gugu Mbatha Raw. Produced by Bad Wolf, the same company behind the recent Doctor Who. The show is expected. Yeah, I don't really give a shit. Unless the BBC and Disney renew the flagship series soon, Doctor Who may once again enter one of its infamous rest periods over this time without the confident promise of a return date. And this isn't the first time. Like, Doctor Who's, it's done this before. You know, it was like the late 80s, early 90s, it went on a break and didn't come back until, what, 2004, 2005? Like, officially. They had, like, the movie with, like, Paul McGann and all that. But it was on a hiatus. And no one knew if it was going to come back. And then all of a sudden it comes back in like 2004, 2005. You know, got Christopher Eccleston, Billy Piper, and it's been going since then. Maybe it just needs, you know. But let it take a hiatus. Let it get canceled. Again, why would you rather watch some fucking doctor like this, or would you rather just listen to one of the audio dramas with Colin Baker or Tom Baker, or I think Matt Smith does some. I think Peter Capaldi does some. Some of the older doctors, same thing. You know, they bring them back. Like I said, with Tom Baker, he does them all the time. So, would you rather listen to something of quality, of a good story being told, even though you're not visually seeing it? Or would you rather listen to this crap and see it where there's just a message in your face constantly, no clever writing to cover it up, no clever story, no clever character building, no, just in your face message every 2 seconds? Gee, I wonder why no one's watching the show anymore. And again, you can sit here and gaslight all you want. Oh, you're fat and so, yeah, whatever. If that's the best you have, is insulting me because you can't think of any good reason as to why the show should be more popular now, and yet it's not even getting anywhere close to the views it did when David Tennant was the Doctor. If you cannot provide a good explanation, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. Calling someone a phobe isn't a fucking argument. But anyway, let it be canceled. Let it go on hiatus. Let them think about whether or not this is the route that they want to go down. We know it is, but at least give them time to try to figure out a way around it so that way they can still give their message. Or just hire better writers. Someone who understands that you can have a message, but not be in the face of people watching it. Because not everyone who watches the show is going to agree with you. Let's get some ideas rolling. Some Doctor Who ideas. You know, most of these stories are taking place on Earth now, it seems. So let's have some Doctor Who ideas. You can have political messaging if you want, but I want to see some stories. Maybe some of you have written stories. You know, Doctor Who fanfics. Let's see them. You know, you can send them to me if you want. But I would love to, and I guarantee you, whatever you guys are writing is still probably a million times better than Russell T Davies and that these overly paid writers are able to do right now. Guarantee. I guarantee your fanfic, your short story is a lot better than what these professionals can do. So, let's see some stories. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.